sail away alone all by myself. I'm not just gonna stand here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Good morning, everybody. I am completely scripted today, or unscripted today, as everything that could possibly go wrong today probably did in the course of preparing for this broadcast. I've been editing up until about 30 seconds before we went on the air, and it's a fun time to announce that we will be permanently moving to 6:30 starting tomorrow. That's 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. where it counts, 4:30 p.m. Mountain, and 3:30 p.m. on the Pacific Coast. So, with that, remember we have our Thursday night panel on a Tuesday tonight because Karen Reed, the Karen Reed murder trial is all full days from here on out this week. And, well, we're going to do the panel tonight so we don't kill each other on Thursday night just out of sheer stress. So that's another change. It's 1 week only. Probably won't be again next week, but you never know around here. Remember, we're launching our Patreon this Sunday along with our merchandise shop. So those are also coming. And with that, I'm going to get into these videos as I'm done talking. Team Skeptic sued by subjective video. News broke overnight that popular YouTuber Team Skeptic was facing a lawsuit against him from Lindsay Ann Donunsky, a woman that he had featured on his channel in a 2023 broadcast. Donunsky filed a lawsuit against Skeptic and YouTube Google in May in the United States District Court of the Eastern District of Michigan. She is seeking damages based on defamation, intentional infliction of emotional harm, intimidation, tampering with a witness, trespassing, and violations of her First, Fourth, and 14th Amendment rights under the United States Constitution. The lawsuit stems from a 2023 video Skeptic made featuring Dunsky for his YouTube channel. Skeptic compared Dunsky to Jose Chili DeCastro in reviewing her appearance in the case of Van Buren Township versus Lindsay Dunsky. He also made comments describing Dunsky as behaving like a Karen and acting like a sovereign citizen. Dunsky's court appearance in the reviewed video saw her threaten to sue the judge handling the case for malicious prosecution. She was facing charges related to her apparent actions in an ongoing custody dispute involving her former husband and her children. Skeptic's reaction video focused on Dunsky's behavior in court, along with statements about the multiple lawsuits she had previously attempted to file against police, her ex-husband, and the courts. Her May filing, which included YouTube Google as a defendant, claims that Skeptic knowingly published erroneous, misleading, and defamatory statements against her in an attempt to torture, harass, and inflict undue emotional, mental, and reputational harm to her. Someone contending to be Dunsky had originally threatened Skeptic with a lawsuit last year in reply to his original video. If it was indeed Dunsky, it is unclear why she waited so long to file suit in the case. Another factor in the case may be a recent ruling by the United States District Court, Eastern District of Michigan, Southern Division, dated just days after her filing against Skeptic, that ordered Dunsky to seek permission in the court before filing any further lawsuits originating from the child custody case, or by paying the complete civil course filing fees when filing further lawsuits. That ruling noted that Dunsky has filed at least 13 lawsuits in relation to the child custody dispute, and many of those had been dismissed as frivolous. The ruling is currently currently unclear as to how it may apply to the lawsuit against Skeptic, as Dunsky is suing Skeptic and YouTube Google over comments Skeptic made about her actions in the court appearance related to the child custody dispute. Dunsky may also experience difficulties in both jurisdictional issues involving YouTube Google and in finding Skeptic to serve him with the lawsuit. Under YouTube's terms and conditions, which every YouTube user agrees to by using the service, Dunsky agreed that she would only file a civil lawsuit against the company in California's Santa Clara County Superior Court. Skeptic himself has proven to be elusive of service when others have tried to sue him for similar charges. Most notably, Jose Chili DeCastro has failed to provide service to Skeptic in multiple different lawsuits over the past 2 years. DeCastro, operating with a far greater knowledge of Skeptic's whereabouts and routines than Dunsky, currently has been found to have failed to properly serve Skeptic in his ongoing California-based federal civil rights lawsuit against Skeptic, Kate Peter, Michael Blue Bacon Peratini, and Daniel Clement. Skeptic himself released a tongue-in-cheek ChatGPT-created response to Dunsky's lawsuit and wished her good luck in finding him to serve him with the lawsuit. This is a breaking news story. Life returns to normal. Goose eggs again on Monday. The GoFundMe market entered a new phase on Monday, as, for the second time since we began tracking it, we've seen goose eggs across the board for 3 days in a row. Complete lack of activity by the majority of the subjects of our tracking is key to it, but strangely, funds that should have received notice, Jose Chili DeCastro's in particular, saw no gains at all despite massive attention drawn to the live streams on his channel. DeCastro's high numbers from Michael Eline's Sunday stream, the second in under a week to surpass 40,000 viewers, have brought out the conspiracy theorists and trolls, as DeCastro's own Monday address to his followers has done a little over 3,200 views as of press time, but has more likes and comments than Eline's video. The jail address by DeCastro has seen 442 likes to 276 comments since going up about 17 hours before press time, to Eline's livestream on DeCastro's channel that did 145 likes to 66 comments since going live, again roughly 36 hours before press time. While not a sign of anything tangible, it does tend to figure that if Eline had an influx of actual support, they'd be a little more vocal about it. Again, with lack of actual evidence, we must conclude that Eline just got lucky. He somehow hit the YouTube algorithm in a sweet spot, but yeah. In the past, the culprits of views and like buys have made it known. Right now, there's been radio silence from anyone who would normally troll DeCastro's channel, and until somebody breaks the silence, we must stick with the facts until the truth comes out. Oh dear lordy, somebody start talking. DeCastro's lack of gains on his GoFundMe campaigns after such a massive showing by Eline also points to a troll, but again, DeCastro wasn't alone in that regard. No one is putting out quality content or promoting their crowdsourced campaigns at this time. Without oxygen, as we always say, the fire can't spread. Which brings us to the daily reminder of our own ongoing GoFundMe campaign as we suck the air out of the room. As always, if you'd like to help us out, we do have a GoFundMe of our own, located in the scroll below. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. Turtle Boy declares Karen Reed case done. Monday's testimony by lead investigator Michael Proctor in the ongoing Karen Reed murder trial brought the declaration of victory by Reed supporter Aidan Turtle Boy Kearney due to the controversial nature of Proctor's testimony. While the defense has been very vocal that the prosecution would never put Michael Proctor on the stand due to controversial comments in an internal affairs complaint against him, Proctor took the stand on Monday, bringing more focus about jokes and odd comments he made in the course of the investigation than his actual work as lead investigator in the case. Taking the subject on directly, prosecutor Adam Lowley grilled Proctor over comments made against Reed and Reed's attorneys and messages he sent to friends, family, and co-workers during the course of his investigation. Proctor had joked that he had not found nudes while searching Reed's phone, made fun of side effects of Reed's reported colitis, and insulted and degraded both Reed and Reed's attorney, David Yannetti, in messages he sent during the investigation. Proctor called the comments regrettable and unprofessional while on the stand, and it is unclear if potential disciplinary actions may involve his removal from the police force. Kearney, viewing from the press area, pounced on Proctor's comments and claimed that the reactions from the jurors showed that the case was over, done, finished. He tweeted that two of the jurors rolled their eyes and reacted negatively towards what was said, and implied that they could never be swayed back to believing the prosecution's case. Kearney played up Proctor's comments as the stuff of legend, so violent, so unfortunate, that the case was over. In his opinion, there was no coming back from such evil comments. While he was texting his outraged reaction, Kearney continued to replace Massachusetts State Police Sergeant Yuri Buchanek's last name with a graphic sexual term. He also ignored his own harassment of reporter Grant Smith Ellis over having the same medical condition as Reed, his circulation of revenge porn, which is now being called the Turtle Boy Law, and his own characterization of the sexual conduct of witnesses in the case. In the end, though, despite his claims otherwise, Kearney is not officially part of the case. Proctor is. It will take quite a bit of rehabilitation for the prosecution to recover from the negativity surrounding Monday's testimony in the case. DeCastro claims to be back in minimum housing. Jose Chile DeCastro's daily update for June 7, 2024, released on June 10, 2024, contained the news that his current barracks in the Clark County, Nevada Detention Center was apparently being converted to a minimum security area. DeCastro claimed that all the inmates with a history of violent behavior or charges of violence against them were rounded up from his current barracks and rehoused in other parts of the detention center. They were replaced by homeless and mentally ill individuals. Claiming that this was a victory, DeCastro claimed that he was now back with the minimum security status individuals where he belonged, after being housed in the barracks classified as a medium minimum security status over the past 2 weeks. Since DeCastro has not changed locations, and only the population of the barracks had changed, it is unclear if the draconian rules of the barracks were also lifted. DeCastro had previously complained loudly that the particular barracks had offered less free time and more lockdowns than his previous barracks. DeCastro had also previously claimed that he was moved from an area devoted to the lowest characterization of danger, minimum, to a higher classification, medium minimum, due to plumbing issues in his previous barracks. Speculation by outsiders claimed that DeCastro was punished by reclassification at the time for his demands to Brigade Justice of the Peace Ann Zimmerman, who decided his recent criminal case, with petitions in order to force her to free him from imprisonment. DeCastro briefly touched on that case, claiming that his upcoming appeals hearing was an assured victory for his cause. He then hedged his bets, stating that if he lost, he'd then appeal to the Nevada State Supreme Court, as at least one judge on the panel would surely stand up for the First Amendment and take up DeCastro's cause. Despite the outcome, DeCastro promised swift retribution towards the state of Nevada once he was released from jail. He promised a lawsuit against the state for its improper guilty verdict, sentencing, and jailing, but would also be pursuing charges against those judges who ruled against him. DeCastro received some good news on Monday as the trial for his Maryland criminal case for harassment charges levied against him by former partner Colin Project Constitution Campbell was moved from next week to September of 2024. No reason was given for the delay, though a motion had been filed on Friday that apparently called for the delay. We will continue to provide updates to DeCastro's criminal cases as we receive them. Flashback, June 11, 2023, DeCastro Showcase Snafu. A much less impassioned Jose Chile DeCastro returned to live streaming on Saturday to talk about the next steps in his pursuit of an inquiry into his complaint about the officers who handled his March arrest in Las Vegas. In Thursday's emergency motion with the Nevada-based Federal District Court in order to stay his arraignment in Nevada's criminal court on Tuesday, DeCastro said the findings of his internal affairs complaint would be important to his criminal case, and allowing the criminal case to proceed would chill his rights in the civil matter. DeCastro received an answer from Internal Affairs to his query on Friday, as an Internal Affairs officer informed him that the case was now closed and wished him to have a nice day. Without a scathing indictment from Internal Affairs, DeCastro was left with an appeal to the Citizens Review Board that works closely with Internal Affairs in cases that were otherwise rejected for review by Internal Affairs. Alas, for DeCastro, his planned presentation on the Citizens Review Board featured a video of what he claimed to be the board's processes and had a lengthy statement from David Roger, who DeCastro claimed was the general counsel for the Citizens Review Board. Despite a logo being played on the screen and DeCastro naming it directly, DeCastro failed to make it clear that the video was produced by the Las Vegas Police Protective Association, an association that represents police with the Citizens Review Board and not the board itself. According to their website, the LVPPA was incorporated in 1947 and currently represents active and retired members of the LVMPD and corrections officers and the Las Vegas Deputy City and Municipal Court Marshals. LVPPA's ongoing mission is to provide its members with the best benefits and services available, in partnership with providers and fellow associations and organizations. The LVPPA is associated with the National Association of Police Organizations, Southern Nevada Conference of Police and Sheriffs, and the Big 50. A distracted DeCastro claimed that the Citizens Review Board process was illegitimate, as ultimately the process would come down to police investigating police and no justice would be found. During the broadcast, prominent YouTuber and Irish beer enthusiast Irish Demon joined DeCastro's chat, only to be immediately timed out. Following the video, DeCastro turned his attention to his fundraising efforts on behalf of a disabled fan, who is fundraising for an electric wheelchair and an Oricam My Eye Pro Visual Assistant device. DeCastro raised $350 toward the goal of $7,250. DeCastro stated that while it may take a month to reach the goal, he has embraced the cause and will devote a portion of every live stream to fundraising on his fans' behalf. Okay, folks, if you missed the start of the broadcast, we are now permanently moving to 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 where it counts, 4:30 in the Mountain Time, and 3:30 on the West Coast. Just a lot of things going on. We just need to move the time back by half an hour. So this will be a permanent time. I know it has connections to the old place, but this is what life has dealt us. This is what we're going to have to deal with. That note, we'll be back in about 90 minutes with our Thursday All-Star panel on a Tuesday. That means we'll be going a little crazy tonight for an hour or so. So please check back with us. The link's up in our community or in our regular page here on YouTube. I'll be sending out a notice as well when we do go live. Again, apologies for the jarring nature of today's broadcast. I did not finish one of the stories, so we'll be playing that tomorrow. And with that, we'll be back tomorrow morning, or actually we'll be back in 90 minutes or so, and then we'll be back tomorrow morning with our continuing coverage of the Karen Reed murder trial at 8:55 a.m. Hope to see you guys there at that time. I'm out of here. Closing credits and then the after credit scene. So, see you in a little bit.